Hi, it's Melanie. I know some of you have been missing the dowels, so we're going to do a short workshop with some ways to use the dowels. Just take a moment to center yourself, so sit comfortably. Lift your spine nice and tall. Let your eyes open or close, whatever feels best. And just take a moment to check in. Notice your breath. Become aware of each breath in and each breath out. Let your mind begin to slow. Just allowing your mind to follow the gentle rhythm of your breath. Trying not to hold on to any one thought. Breathing in and breathing out. Letting go. Just slowly bring your awareness back. If your eyes are closed, just let your eyes open, blinking a few times. Just let your chin drop down and bring some gentle movement into your neck, just letting your chin move across your collarbones from side to side. And then bring your head up. If you're sitting cross-legged, take a moment, stretch your legs out, bounce them out, and just change the cross in your legs. So here it is, the dowel that I know you've all been missing. Just take the dowel, put it in your left hand, and start to do some wrist rotations. Be careful not to whack yourself in your head, because we all know that's what I usually do. And then try to switch and go the other way. Try not to let the dowel go through your fingers, but actually hold it and rotate. And then let the movement stop, take it, put it in the right hand. And same thing, sit up nice and tall, really rotating, and then pause and go the other way. Make sure that you're breathing, that you're not holding your breath. So just a good way to warm up the wrists. Then you can take the dowel, hold it at the center, curl your fingers around loosely, not too tight, and then just try to pull the dowel lightly apart so you feel your shoulders move away from the spine. Sit up nice and tall, and on an exhale, you can twist to the right. Think about keeping your gaze about dowel level, keeping your arms in line with your shoulders. Go back to the center, and then switch, go to the other side. Try to keep the arms straight. You'll find that one elbow wants to bend. And bring yourself back to the center. You can repeat it once more on each side. Just remember, pull the dowel lightly apart. Back to the center and to the other side. Try to keep the weight as even as you can on the glutes. Remembering to use the props if you need them to lift the hips and tilt the pelvis. As you come back to the center, go forward. Just keep your head above the dowel and lightly drawing that dowel apart. As long as your neck's not sore, you can extend the dowel farther forward and bring the head down. Then lift the head, bring yourself back to the center, set the dowel down for a moment, and just roll your shoulders back a few times and forward. Stretch your legs out, bounce them out, and then cross them the other way again, readjust through the glutes. Now, this time you take the dowel at the center of the palm, extend the arms out from the shoulders, and just lightly turn the pinky fingers up, dropping the shoulders down. Press lightly into the dowel, and again, feel the shoulders open. Breathing in and breathing out as you twist right. Keep your breath. And back to the center, shoulders drop down, spine is long. Twisting the other way again, slightly rolling that pinky finger up. Good. And back to the center. You can repeat that one more time. Or if the shoulders and the neck are feeling good today, you can lift the arms up. Just try not to thrust the ribs. And again, twisting right. Try to keep the head between the arms. Come back to the center, soften the shoulders, and go the other way. Back to the center. You can either lower the arms down to shoulder height or keep the ears between the arms and just come forward, lightly drawing the shoulders down the back. Just turn the head to make sure the neck is free. And then bring yourself all the way back up. Lower the arms, set the dowel down, and just bounce your legs out. Make sure you roll your shoulders back a few times. Now with your legs stretched out, you can take the dowels and put them under your calves. Lean back, lifting the chest. The heels are up off the floor. Try not to thrust the ribs and squeeze the shoulder blades. So working into a bit of upper body strength, and you can roll those dowels under your calves. Some of you will remember doing this in our classes, and remember the feeling that you get in your calves from doing this. Try to work with your breath, try to keep your chest lifted, work with that upper body strength, so elbows bend, arms straighten. Elbows bend, roll forward, arms straighten, come back, release it, slide the dowel under the calves, and bring the body forward. Walk the bottom back a step or two. And you can place that dowel under the calves at the place where you really feel it working into the calves to release them. And then bring yourself up. Now if you need to sit on a blanket, don't use a block, but you can sit on a blanket if you feel your tailbone or low back. Bend the knees, hug the heels on the floor. You can pick the dowel up and hold it with the palms facing up, just curling the fingers, and walk the heels back. And this might be where you want to stay. You can lift one foot and then the other foot coming into this position, or you can lower the heels down, and some of you may be able to take those dowels into the elbow creases, walk the heels back, sit here, or lift the heels up here. Keep breathing. You can keep the knees bent, or you can begin to straighten the legs, drawing the shoulders down so you feel the pressure of the dowel on the forearm as well, creating a little bit of a release. Knees bend, heels to floor, shoulders down. You can stay here for your forward fold, or begin to walk your heels out and coming forward here. Use your breath. Turn the palms down and bring yourself out and just bounce it out. The dowels are good props to use in the twists. So you keep that right leg straight and bend the left knee. You take the dowel and place it over that right thigh. Then you take your right hand, reach and grab the dowel. The left hand goes behind the back and grabs the dowel. You sit up nice and tall and you twist. Shoulders drop. Now walk your hands along the dowel and lightly try to pull the dowel apart as you open the shoulders. Remember the importance of keeping the weight as even as you can on both glutes. You bring yourself back to the center, stretch that leg out, bounce, and then bend the opposite knee. Again, the dowel goes across the thigh, the opposite hand goes to the dowel, the other hand goes behind the back. You sit up nice and tall. You walk your hands as close together as you can get them, and then lightly draw the dowel apart. Head's the last thing to turn, and you work with your breath. Come back to the center. Remember to release the twist with the forward fold. You can take the dowel into the hip creases, bend the knees, and come forward here, walking the glutes back a bit. Move your legs a little farther apart if it's back or hamstrings you're feeling. and then bring yourself all the way up. You can swing your legs behind you, come up onto your knees. Take the dowel behind your back and think about here, about shoulder width apart, but just behind your back. If you are able to walk your hands side by side, do that, and then tuck your 10 toes under. Start to squeeze your inner upper thighs and lift the arms, finding that chest expander where you knife the shoulder blades. Press your hips forward and go into a gentle back bend, using that effort of lightly drawing the dowel apart. Use the strength of your legs to bring yourself back up. Place the tops of the feet on the floor. Send the hips back. Lower the arms down and come into a child's pose. Remember, if you're dizzy, keep your head up, neck in line with the spine. If you're able to drop the head down, you can. Release the dowel. Bring yourself up. Place the dowel on the ground. Tuck the 10 toes. Lift the knees and bring yourself into a forward fold. If a half fold's better, go to the half fold. And then slide the dowel under your feet. So the arches of your feet are on the dowel. And try to get your 10 toes on the floor, if you can. Try to have the outside edges of your feet parallel. And you may be able to release the hands off the floor and put them on your calves or on your shins, or perhaps even on your thighs. Make sure your neck is free. Then bend the knees, drop the glutes, place the elbows on your thighs. You can slide the feet farther apart if you like, and just notice any sensations you might get from the dowels under the arches of the feet. Press your palms into your thighs, send your hips back, lift the arms up, and then bring yourself up to standing. Lower the hands down and reposition the feet on the dowel, so that your feet are a comfortable distance apart for you. Either put your hands on your hips if your shoulders hurt, or bring your arms up. And bend over to the right. Again, notice if the toes want to lift off the dowel. Come up again, drop your shoulders. Just really working into the arches of the feet, bend the opposite way. Coming back up. Lowering the arms, bending the knees, sending the hips back. Place the elbows on the thighs, stay there. Or release the arms, drop the head, and come into a full forward fold. Now slide the dowel from under the arches. Take the dowel and put it in the knee creases. Here you can turn the palms to face the same direction as the toes and curl the fingers lightly. Bend the knees and come here. So it is bending the knees and then begin to straighten the legs here. Adjust the position of the feet according to your back and hamstrings. You can bend the knees. You can slide the dowel into the elbow creases, be here. And then you can start to straighten the legs to this position, moving the shoulders lightly apart, bending, straightening. The neck remains in line with the spine, so the head's not bobbling up and down. Bend. One more time, and straighten. Then bend, slide the hands back to the dowel. Pause here. Bring the dowel forward. Place the dowel at the center of the palms to be here. And come all the way up to standing. Heel toe the feet a comfortable distance apart. Take the dowel once more like we did before. Bring the hands together or hold it as far apart as you like. Breathe in and breathe out as you twist right. Try to keep your hips pointing straight ahead. Back to the center. Other side. Back to the center. Repeat that again, or take the dowel like we did before into the center of the palm. Arms at shoulder height or arms up, it depends on your shoulders and neck. Twisting right, back to the center, twisting left, back to the center, lowering the arms, bending the knees, staying here, or coming into that full forward fold. Bending the knees, lifting arms, lifting head, and bringing yourself all the way up. Taking the feet about hip width apart, keep the right foot where it is, step the left leg back, coming into that warrior one position, front hip back, back thigh forward. You can stay here, or you can add some movement. Breathing in, breathing out, the palms lightly press into the dowel, the shoulders draw apart. Keep the knee bent, bring yourself back up. You can change the variation, lifting the arms without thrusting the ribs. Again, going forward, front hip back, back thigh forward, knee stays bent, coming up. Arms lower, back knee bends, toes pivot forward. Step forward, stand up, switch legs, left leg, right leg back, front knee bends. Breathing here, front hip back, back thigh forward, so adjust the feet if you need to. Staying here, or moving forward, again, front hip back, back thigh forward. Coming up, keeping the knee bent, perhaps lifting the arms, dropping the ribs and the shoulders. Coming forward, front hip back, back thigh forward. Bringing yourself back up. Shoulders soft, arms forward. Lift the back heel, pivot the toes, step forward. Bringing the arms up, staying halfway forward, or folding all the way forward. This time the dowel can come behind the legs, and you can use the arms as you fold the body forward. And bending the knees, sliding the dowel up, pausing here, then taking the dowel, releasing it as you bring yourself all the way back down. Take a moment to release that in your forward fold. Remember, you can use the dowel if you like. Bring it in your elbow creases. Fold the body here. You can also use the dowel behind your back in a chest expander position. Bring yourself all the way back up. Release the dowel. You can bring yourself down onto your back just simply by curling down. Or some of you, and if you are trying this, be careful with it, may want to hold the dowel, palms facing up, curl the fingers, and move through some of the spinal rocks in this position. You can also hook the elbow creases and move through the spinal rocks in this position. When you finish on your back. And again, you can use the dowels under the knee creases, chin tips down here. You can have the hands here. And if you find that using the dowels in a happy baby position is comfortable for you, you can do that. Hold the dowel at the center. Bend the knees, bend the elbows. Try to have the outside edges of your feet parallel. Some of you may find that you like to hold the outsides of the dowel. Work with your breath. And then release the dowel. Take a moment, just set the dowel down. Rock a little bit from side to side. And then you can pause for a moment of Shavasana if you like, or roll over to one side and just find your way back to a seated position. So just a few ways to use the dowels to deepen your practice a bit. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Namaste.